good afternoon, and welcome. Welcome to the garden. Welcome to Garden Conversations with Rose. It's Wednesday, January 19th, 2022. I can't believe that within 11 days, January will no longer be with us. On the 18th of December in 2020, I did a poem and a post talking about how COVID-19 had come upon us so unexpectedly. I talked about how it had taken us by surprise and how much we ourselves had responded in so many different ways. I also encouraged us to be hopeful and take care of ourselves so that COVID 19 would not take us down in a most unfortunate manner. On the 18th of January, which was yesterday, I sat for a few hours and penned another poem, another post as a continuation of that previous one because of my own experience with COVID 19. So, this is a story that I've got to tell you, but I need you to hear a short clip of the previous one that I did in 2020 so that you yourself may have a better understanding of some of the words that I'm using and I would have used as it relates to COVID 19. Good morning and welcome to the garden. Merry Christmas and all the very best for 2021. Are you ready to hear about under our skirts? Have a listen. Under my skirt, stealthily, coyly, and wickedly so, he had stalked me for 4 whole months, and I just didn't know. So quietly and casually, and as was the norm, I went on my way only to be waylaid in a most undignified form. There would be a rude awakening under my skirt, and the onslaught was harsh and sharp and even so rough. It ravaged my senses, dislodged my balance. I was knocked to my feet, and I thought I'd had enough of this brutal intruder that had gotten under my skirt. He kept up his game at the weakening trend on my mind, my emotions, my physique, my being. I couldn't myself defend against that comfort snatcher that had wormed his way under my skirt. Purposefully and with cold, calculated thrusts, I was raped of my freedom, my finances. Oh boy, even my privilege to be at church. Just because he was around, that violator under my skirt. And then came the result of that brutal attack. The seed was sown. The fetus was embedded in the sack. The ebb and the flow was now in full swing. I was at the mercy of what had found lodging under my skirt. So now my response was crucial. My adjustment, so vital. I needed to be certain that I would not go under. The infant inside me needed to be safe and whole, since its origin under my skirt was hemmed into my skirt. Whatever you might have faced during COVID-19 in the year 2020, whatever the emotions that would have gone through you, whatever losses you would have suffered, be encouraged and be certain that there is something greater coming, because from out of adversity always comes victory. Be assured that in 2021, with a renewed mindset, a new perspective, and a strong awareness that there is something in your hands, you will see some forward mobility despite of what would have ensued under your skirt. Hello, I'm back. So now that you have had an appreciation of the initial post, I expect that you peel your eyes and perk up your ears to this version in 2022 of COVID-19, what with all its variants and even what it had done to so many persons who would have lost their lives and otherwise. I need you to have a good listen. He's back with his goons to launch their brutal attack. But would they succeed? Would he succeed? Would they win the fight? Would he win the fight? Have a good listen. It's been a year and 10 months since his unwelcome entrance, his forced autonomy, his unsanitary approach, his invasive thrusts under my skirt, under our skirts. The fruit was born, and I and we, in spite of the pain, the hurt and the shame, had dragged ourselves up, wiped the blood of our butts, and remembered our worth. Now my eyes are open, even more open. I'm much more aware of his wily ways, his serpent scrawls, his fox-like struts, his barefaced attempts to re-emerge under my skirt, under our skirts. My armor's well placed, the locks set right. I'm cautious of who's around me. My mental balance, my guiding light, that his weight and his force should not win any perks. Everyone around me has stepped up their game, joined in the campaign, the Crusaders' march, the soldiers' aims to thwart his operations of taking ground under our skirts. We've crossed our eyes, we've dotted our T's, we're sending signals about that evil, diabolical monster who would spare no chance, as in the shadows he stealthily lurks. Some of my kind have been waylaid by his ploys, his boys, his goons, who were cruel in their plot and got away before they were caught, as they created havoc under their skirts. He gained momentum and gloated as he flung his unscrupulous weapon onto anyone who was caught off guard, making sure that they had gotten shaken, bruised, and hurt. And then, from out of nowhere, despite my careful flow, or so I thought, he crept up from behind me, making a direct blow, wielding his violent cut right under my skirt. I was dragged by his goons while he sat in the shadows, to then lift his mask, showing his glowing eyes and upcurled lips that scorched my soul and then in my face pelted dirt. Sure, there was a lashing from this wicked beast, this insidious vampire, this crafty crab who had made a vile attempt to hook his claws under my skirt. He stretched out hard, he reached out far, but the effect he expected did not take hold. I was oiled with a coating of impervious glow that had created a barrier under my skirt. He had returned with his goons to launch the brutal attack, but he would come face to face with a huge pushback, for there would be no mutilation under my skirt. And anyone out there, don't be afraid of COVID-19. We know it doesn't discriminate, but we can do what we must to protect ourselves so that if perchance COVID-19 and his goons, his boys, his gang strike a blow on us, the effect would be minimal. Take care of yourself. Keep your physique in a healthy status. Eat healthily. Ensure that you take your vitamins. Emotionally keep yourself in a good place and mentally be balanced and free of turmoil. And if you can, by all means, if you're able to be vaccinated, that would be a plus. Whatever you can and whatever you should and whatever you must do to protect yourself, do just that. It is all in your hands because COVID-19 does not discriminate.